Korea can probably hit the continental United States with its new Hwasong-19 intercontinental ballistic missile. But the commander overseeing the United States' joint global strike operations says if North Korea ever tried it, the U.S. response would be overwhelming. North Korea recently completed another test launch of its Hwasong-19 in November. The missile flew higher than any other missile previously launched by the Kim regime, which is saying something since the Kim regime launches a lot of rockets and missiles. The regime also owns around 50 nuclear warheads and has enough fissile material to make another 90. A nuclear-armed North Korea with the ability to hit the United States is certainly concerning for Americans, but it's also concerning to America's allies in the Pacific. At a nuclear deterrence and readiness symposium hosted by the Korea Society, United States Air Force Major General Jason Armagos was asked if North Korea's new abilities would force the United States to prioritize homeland defense over defending allies with its nuclear triad.
North Korea, it is problematic for them to have an intercontinental ballistic missile. But for them to attack that system is inherently, it's with current and imaginable capabilities, it is extremely difficult to attack that system of systems. And so what that system allows us to do is to say that use of an intercontinental ballistic missile would not result in the benefit that you are seeking, because we can respond in a way that is overwhelming in the time and place and manner of our choosing.
The system of systems that make up the U.S. nuclear triad is the most powerful strategic deterrence on the planet, and the U.S. offers that protection and extended deterrence to its allies in the Pacific, namely South Korea, Japan, and Australia. The United States currently has 1,770 nuclear warheads deployed, and a couple hundred more than that in storage. Armagos says by deploying those weapons within the nuclear triad, the U.S. is creating a spectrum of capability for strategic deterrence. The triad includes bombers, stealth or otherwise, which can be forward deployed. The U.S. operates 400 missile silos filled with nuclear-armed Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missiles. Those silos are in Colorado, Wyoming, North Dakota, and Montana. The Air Force tests those missiles somewhat regularly to make sure they're always ready, and the Department of Defense is well underway with its modernization program to replace the Minuteman III with the new Sentinel ICBM. And of course, there's the Navy's Silent Service, nuclear-powered and armed submarines, capable of launching ballistic missiles for what Armagos calls an assured second strike capability. And sub-launched ballistic missiles can be fired from almost anywhere on the planet that a submarine can go. But ideally, those nuclear devices will never be fired, and conventional weapons can also be a deterrence. As we reported on before, the U.S. has enough conventional weapons to potentially take out all of China and Russia's nuclear facilities in a matter of hours. So the much smaller North Korean program, while concerning, doesn't present so much of a dilemma that it can't be dealt with using conventional means. For more unbiased, straight fact reporting like this, download the Straight Arrow News app today. North Korea can probably hit the continental United States with its new Hwasong-19 intercontinental ballistic missile. But the commander overseeing the United States' joint global strike operations says if North Korea ever tried it, the U.S. response would be overwhelming. North Korea recently completed another test launch of its Hwasong-19 in November. The missile flew higher than any other missile previously launched by the Kim regime, which is saying something since the Kim regime launches a lot of rockets and missiles. The regime also owns around 50 nuclear warheads and has enough fissile material to make another 90. A nuclear-armed North Korea with the ability to hit the United States is certainly concerning for Americans, but...
All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harikak Wadash Ma'amath, Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and my elder Heroine as well. Salutation to the Akim that are pushing this truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. All right, I'm Khanak and I'm by Yasharala from the Lions Den of Yasharala camp. And this is another Lions Den news and prophecy. As you can see, based upon the video. And I'm going to put the video in the description box. I mean, in the lesson this time. Last time I was talking about a whole video and wasn't even up there. But so the topic of discussion is upon the video where it says United States response to ICBM from North Korea would be overwhelming, right? See, here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing. Esau doesn't know what he's up against. America doesn't know what he's up against. America just looking at these other nations and, you know what I'm saying, and thinking like, oh, we could take them out, we could take that out. But he's not understanding who's putting these nations up to doing this. You see what I'm saying? See, he has no clear indication on he's going up against the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And Yahweh by Shem Yahushai love controversy, so he's gonna go out with a bang bang shebang. Esau, he's gonna take Esau out with a bang bang shebang because you know what I'm saying. The whole world, just like how when he, just like how when he took out the Egyptians during the time of our Exodus, right? The first Exodus. He glorified his name throughout the known earth at that time, right? So now this is going to be much on a more bigger scale, and so like over time, people kind of forgotten the name of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. But this time, with the magnitude of what the Lord's finna do in the earth, nobody's going to forget it this time, because and one of the reasons is because the finished product is the names being put in the minds of the children of Israel and never being taken away. So we're going to always glorify his name throughout for eternity. All right. And this is what this is all about. So when people say certain things out of their mouth, not understanding what the end all tell all is and who's bringing forth the judgment on the earth and why things are happening the way they're happening, right? People start to get a little, big headed and boast themselves up. But, as a matter of fact, let me get a scripture real quick. Real quick. I know I spelled that all wrong. All right. It says, let me try. See, that's what it is. That's what it is. So you got this particular individual on the earth named Esau boasting himself and his pride because of the position, that he's in. All right. This is Psalms 10:4. It said, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. Right. You know what I'm saying? So he's like always, you know what I'm saying, boasting up in his pride. So he's not thinking about Yahweh by Shem Yahushai or if there's anything higher than him that could bring judgment on him. He's not thinking. That's why he set himself up high so he could escape the evil down below, for the judgment that's going to come on the earth. Right? Verse 5, it says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sights. All right. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. All right. And that's what he's doing. He like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's Like he thinks he's, you know what I'm saying, on top, that he can bring everybody down, provoking and puffing at his enemies, breathing at them, like, you know, like kind of like snarling at him, like he's the top dog. Nobody can, you know, he doesn't have to give any regards to what type of firepower they have, because he feels like he's, you know, he's um really basically to scoff, all right, at his enemies. And so that was a bold statement to say that in that video, how he said that, you know, if North Korea was to attack with some type of nuclear threat, that America wouldn't have to use nuclear threats. They would just use regular ICBMs to take care and defuse the issue, right? And that's a bold statement to say. When you know what I'm saying? Because you see, here's the thing about Esau. He has this game that he likes to play all the time, and people think they be playing with him. They're not. He's always bluffing. You know, playing poker when everybody else is playing chess. Everybody else is using strategic moves, and what is Esau doing? He's scoffing and puffing at his enemies, thinking that that's going to be enough to get people to back down. But the only one that's backing down is America. Because how come every time, even when the North Korea Kim Jong-un daddy was up in the office during the time of Baby Bush, he was like, "No, we got these weapons of mass destruction. Come over in here. Leave Saudi Arabia alone. Come see what I got." And he called America's bluff, and America didn't answer. America kept letting that phone ring and ring and ring, kept their eyes focused on something that they could really handle. They knew they didn't want no pressure with this dude. They know they don't want any pressure with North Korea, period. So now that they're making bold, and really that bold statement is they make statements like that to comfort the people of the United States, to make it seem like they have everything under control, you know, when all in actuality they don't, right? So right. So Psalms 10:4 again, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. Why? Because he has a world in his heart. And that's what Yahweh Shem Yahushua put there. All right. It says his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. Right? For as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Verse 6, he says, he has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. And his see that? See that? That's exactly the bold statement that they were making, right? In that video that just played in the beginning. All right? But according to the scriptures, you know, that is not the thing to do. Jeremiah 9:23, it says, thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches. But isn't America puffing themselves up and glorying after all these things? See that? But all those things are going to be a witness against them when Yahweh by Shem Yahushua shows up. Verse 20, Jeremiah 9:24, it says, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord Yahweh, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. He's only getting that from the elect, because those are the only ones chosen to be able to do those things to please Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. See that? So now, with that being said, there's a judgment coming, right? There's a judgment coming to Babylon, to Esau, to 2/3, to these other nations. All right, so let's go to Jeremiah 51:1. It says, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will rise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. All right? And that's going to be the missiles, man. It says, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land for the day of the trouble. They shall be against her round about. Right. He's raising up fanners where enemies that's going to scatter everybody in America, man. And then as they're being scattered, right, moving in a frenzy, all frantically, like, what's going to happen? They're going to realize that America's being surrounded. That's why it says that what is in Jeremiah 50, put yourself in array against her round about. All them that bend the bow, shoot at her. Or it might be in this one. Verse 3, it says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. This is a different one, but same thing I'm talking about. It was being spoken. It says, and against him that lift up his brigading, meaning his armor, right? Him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Everybody that got missiles, shoot them off. If you got arrows, shoot them bitches. That's what the Lord's telling. Spare ye not her young, destroy ye utterly all of her hosts. All right. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. It says, for Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. All right, but we're going to be forgiven for that. All right, verse 6, it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render her a recompense. Right, so don't have your mind caught up in this place, man. You got to flee out of this place. Not talking about physically. Don't be caught up in the fornications of this place like how everybody else in the world is caught up in. Verse 7, it says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. That's the point. Don't follow the ways of Babylon, because the Lord was using Babylon to show everybody what wickedness is. So don't be cut off in her iniquities, because that her being involved in her iniquities will have you cut off. All right, it says Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right, so they became foolish and started boasting with America. Right, hissing and puffing at everybody else. Right, not realizing that they're being hoodwinked and bamboozled. All right. Matter of fact, let's go to no, this is what I want to go to. I want to go to 50. Yeah, I want to go to 50 because, like, for America to say that they could destroy North Korea without, if North Korea were to spawn with nuclear weapons, they could destroy North Korea without using nuclear weapons is absurd, man. All right, Jeremiah 50 and 14, it says, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm going to read 14 and I'm going to skip down to 20. It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. Right. So if the Lord's going, Yahweh Shema Shai is going to denuclearize the whole earth, man. All right. Skip down to verse 22. It says, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. That's going to be that's you're hearing the sound of battle right now, and the great destruction is about to come. All right. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nation? How? Because Yahweh Shema Shai set it up for it to be that way. See what I'm saying? All right, this is the point right here. So, like, they're talking so naively, like they could just take North Korea out just so easily, not really understanding what North Korea is backed by, right? Just like he's stirring up the spirit of the Medes to come against Babylon, which is Russia, right? Jeremiah 50 and 24 says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. The Lord's laying the snare. It's so ironic that the United States is who introduced the world to nuclear warfare. And that's the same thing that's going to be taken out. That's that snare that the Lord brought up against Babylon, man. All right. It says, O Babylon, thou was not aware. thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord, man. See that? And it says, the Lord hath opened up his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. See that? Those arrows, those missiles, is that weapon in his armory to the weapon of the Lord indignation, man. That's those ICBM missiles, man. All right. So that's a bold statement for the United States to make, thinking like they're untouchable, like they the Godfather and can't be touched, you know? All right, so just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Lord willing, this lesson was edified and served its purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe the name Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. When that would like to say, Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Harikah Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and my elder Heroin as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, the sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.